Okay, you're on the big eve of the meeting.
Yep.
You have said that this could be a record breaker for
It will
attendance.
be.
It will be?
It will be, yeah.
North of 40,000?
I think so. Yeah. Almost certainly.
You know, as people come into town, they want to hear not just about Berkshire, but they want to hear about your view of the economy. We got a very weak print on GDP for the first quarter. Now the Atlanta Fed says it may be just nearly as anemic. What are you seeing in your Berkshire businesses?
We're seeing exactly what we've been seeing since the fall of 2009. Sort of 2%, steady growth, and you hear talk when people get excited and when they get depressed about things, but it's just been moving along at that pace.
Any chance it'll be flat, though? Flat growth?
I would doubt it, yeah.
You told us in February that if you were running the Fed, it would be really hard for you to tighten rates at all in 2015, not even December?
Well, it would depend, but I would say if there are negative rates, Poland issued a negative yield bond, and I think it's very tough to keep having higher rates in the United States and not have tremendous flows over here if you bump rates here and they're negative elsewhere, and we already have seen a strong dollar, affect exports to some degree, and it's just bound to have an effect. And I think I'd be very careful until the Europeans kind of sort things out.
The housing recovery appears to have stalled. We have very low home ownership right now. You've got a lot of businesses, Acme Bricks, Shaw Carpets, Clayton Homes, that do have a lot of exposure. What are you seeing in the housing market?
Well, they're all doing better, but they're not doing dramatically better. Shaw is doing a fair amount better, but raw material costs, because the carpet is oil-based when you get right down to it. And so margins are better there. Clayton is selling more homes this year than last year, and it sold more homes last year than the year before. Acme is selling more brick, but nothing dramatic.
How will you, if at all, address the somewhat negative press lately about Clayton Homes lately, about predatory lending? Are you going to talk about that?
You bet. Yeah, I'll have a lot of documents and figures that I'll share with the meeting on Saturday.
To defend Clayton?
Oh, of course. Clayton is a terrific operation, and it's done wonders for homeowners.
NetJets, quickly, talking about NetJets, we look at that and it's a great proxy for the business spending world. What are you seeing with NetJets?
Yeah, and it's also a proxy for what the stock market's doing. It's amazing how our sales volume, and to some extent our flying volume, correlates with the stock market. So we are having fairly decent gains in ownership in the United States, not in Europe, but in the United States. We're having more flying, we're having more owners, and we're selling more planes that we sold a year ago and 2 years ago and so on. But that reflects a strong stock market, I think, among other things.
This union situation is kind of dragged on. At what point will you step in?
Well, I wouldn't. There's no need for me to step in. It has been open for a long time, and they haven't really come back with anything, but it'll get resolved.
Thank you, Warren. Have a great game.
Okay.